fundamentally, and for that ease of doing business is most important.
Catch Anil Agarwal in an exclusive conversation on The Interview, only on ET Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to you all. It's a privilege for me to welcome you today at the launch of Dun & Bradstreet's publication, Manufacturing India 2025. At Dun & Bradstreet India, we have been tracking the country's economic progress over the last 20 years through our economic analysis group. In the world today, Indian economy stands out for its high potential and has already emerged as amongst the fastest growing major economies. Compared to even 10 years back, today, India's financial markets are more mature and deep, with resilience to absorb shocks. Our regulatory systems and crisis response mechanisms are more robust and sophisticated, and foreign exchange reserves are much larger. The consumer has never had more choice in India than ever before. Important to note here is that India's recent path of economic development seems to have skipped the industrial or manufacturing phase and leapfrogged straight to being a services-led economy. This has meant that manufacturing sector's contribution to GDP has remained stagnant. I believe the potential of the Indian manufacturing sector is indeed high in pure economic terms. The elasticity of response of Indian manufacturing to even a small policy impetus is quite high. We believe the Make in India campaign has enough potential to structurally alter India's growth dynamics forever. Like you all, I'm looking forward to an evening of great discussions. Thank you.
Hey, good evening and a very warm welcome to everyone. This is such a topical and relevant theme for the evening today as we try and shape the destiny of the country into the future. Anyway, as you look at the world economy right now, you clearly see India as a huge bright spot, standing out for its high potential, standing out for its growth, standing out for being one of the major growing economies of the world. And I think one of the many various initiatives that the government is taking right now as we speak, and they are showcasing the resolve to accelerate the economy. So, and I also believe that in particular, just the Make in India initiative has energized the global investor and the business community, and also given a lot of confidence to companies like ours and companies like other stakeholders in India. As I say, the program is very well crafted out and envisages to increase the share of manufacturing in the GDP from 18 to 25 percentage points over the next 10 years by 2025. Now, assuming India becomes a 7 trillion economy in 2025, which is what it can, it should become going by the growth rates of 7.5, 8.5 as we can go forward, you get to a 7 trillion economy, and 25 points of that is 1.75 trillion. And that really is a ton of jobs, a huge amount of opportunities, a lot of new cities and urban centers to be created, people becoming far more affluent and happy, and so dependence on imports coming down and foreign exchange being saved. So every single paradigm which it impacts across the financial metrics of the country seem like headed in the right direction from that perspective. So it's all wonderfully well crafted and extremely good to have. You know, we at HP, we have associated ourselves with pretty much every sector of the manufacturing, whether it is an automotive company or it is a consumer durable company or it is a heavy industries or it is metal, whatever you may call. We've been leading in facilitating this migration or transformation of these companies through the product solution services that we've got. Like I said, I think we feel extremely committed. We feel extremely committed to a vibrant, thriving and successfully manufacturer Make in India program. So thank you for listening to us. Thank you for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to be here. India has many problems, they will coexist, but we are in a bright, sweet spot at the moment. And that sweet spot has come due to some reasons which are within our control and some reasons which have been due to external developments. India is a services-led model. We moved from agriculture to services and bypassed the manufacturing or industrial kind of that phase, with China got, and China replicated, Japan before that, and Thailand before that. So we kind of deindustrialized, and some people say that, where was the deindustrialization? We never industrialized, so it was not a question of deindustrialization. We've never but these are kind of academic debates that happen. But the fallout on the economy as a result of this structural transformation was that the manufacturing sector did not grow enough, and that's an important point to recognize, because there is registered manufacturing and there's informal manufacturing. And the reason structural transformation in economies is good is because the composition and dynamic gains of the structural transformation makes labor moved into more productive sectors, i.e. the manufacturing sector, which is more productive than the agricultural sector. But in India, the manufacturing sector is not, as I said, heterogeneous. So what you really want to expand is the formal registered manufacturing sector, which will then drive the compositional as well as dynamic gains and be in line with what has happened in the rest of the world. Unfortunately, India has not integrated very well with production networks, and for our manufacturing story to take off, we have to integrate in production networks, backward linkages, forward linkages, etc. And a thing that is required, a feature that is required for that integration to happen is not only hard infrastructure, connectivity, all the corridors that are being built in India today are extremely important for that, but we also need soft infrastructure, institutional infrastructure, capabilities at the center, state and local levels to do what it takes to ease the cost of doing business, give clearances in time, reduce the burdens of taxes, burdens of compliance, then we can lower the cost of doing business in India. So thank you very much for your patient hearing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely happy to be participating in this event. This is India's chance to take off. So together, the government and the private sector, we have to work together to make this happen, to make India's to take off, to make India also to fly. Now, talking about the manufacturing sector, as you know, we have had the manufacturing sector today constitutes about 16% of our GDP. There is a talk that we should take it to 25%. Now, which is very important target, and we should, as a government, we are taking all necessary steps to ensure that the necessary platform is available for investors, both in the private and in the public sector, to invest and to increase the share of manufacturing. And one of the measures of industrial production, if I can say so, is the IIP data. It shows that things are improving in the last 3 months. For example, it's about 4% plus after experiencing negative growth some time ago. We are now 4%. We are at 4% plus. So we have inherently a resilient economy within our country, but the external environment continues to be very uncertain and very volatile. So we have to remain watchful, and we need to really ensure that a lot more investment takes place within the country, especially in the manufacturing sector. As and when the US economy revives, it will present a big opportunity to our services sector, especially the IT services, the IT, the IT software sector. It will present a big opportunity. Manufacturing sector is where we have lot of steps. We have to, we are taking lot of steps, and I think this is our chance to fill up the void which is slowly felt all over. The commodity prices internationally, the commodity prices, low commodity prices are affecting different countries differently. The low crude prices have worked to our advantage, and some of the low raw material costs are also working to our advantage. And we are working very closely within the government among the various ministries to provide an enabling a business-friendly ecosystem whereby the startups can really sort of function and thrive, because we believe that each startup, however small it may be, can provide employment to 10, 20, 30, 50 people, and that will be the real job creator so far as our country is concerned. So when you're talking about the startups, it's also looking at the funding requirement, it is also looking at the equity requirements of the startups. With regard to FDI policy liberalization, already a number of measures have been taken in this regard. For example, the FDI limit in insurance and pension services sector have been raised to 49%. Composite caps have been introduced for various sectors. Again, it is an area where there is lot of things are happening. The Finance Ministry will hold 2 FIPB meetings in a month and try and clear as many proposals as possible. And the proposals received in a particular month will be taken up in the next subsequent month. The process reforms connected with the ease of doing business, already a lot has been spoken about it, written about it. Many departments of the government I must mention here, which deal with various aspects and processes, whether it is the Labour Department or whether it is the MSME, the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, or the DIPP in terms of industrial licenses, or the CBDT, CVEC, or the corporate affairs ministries. Lot of process reforms have taken place, and it's a continuous process. We will continue to simplify the ease of doing business in our country. So essentially the focus will be on process reforms. I am sure our ambition to improve our manufacturing sector in an exponential manner, I think, should become a reality. But it is a work in progress. A lot of things are happening, and I am sure, I am sure the country will witness a good growth in the years to come. Thank you very much once again for having invited me to this evening.
When is the right time to pursue your passion, to make a difference, to plan for the future? The time is always right to do what is right, to know when is the right time to invest. Talk to Philip.
अब आदत पड़ गई है मुस्कुराते हुए उठने की, खुल के सांस लेने की। पिछले कुछ हफ्तों में आदत पड़ गई है एक बॉस से ज्यादा पापा बनने की। सिगरेट की आदत छोड़ के मैंने जिंदगी को चुना है। नया निकोटेक्स निकोटीन गम 12 हफ्तों में सिगरेट छोड़ने में मदद करे। निकोटेक्स, चूज लाइफ।
Punjab, the land of opportunities, is leaving no stone unturned in realizing the vision of Make in India. Invest in Punjab is an effort steered to build Punjab as the easiest place to do business. Presenting Progressive Punjab Investors Summit, a conference celebrating the spirit of enterprise in Punjab, positioning Punjab as an ideal investment destination. Only on ET Now.
A survey shows that 80% Indians have a protein-deficient diet. Protein deficiency causes fatigue and weakness, and your regular diet is insufficient to meet your daily protein requirement. That's why you need Protein X. Protein X, the protein expert.
50 सालों से करोड़ों लोगों को इंतजार नहीं, एक बेहतर जिंदगी का हक दिलवा रहे हैं। UTI म्यूचुअल फंड, हक एक बेहतर जिंदगी का।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Let me kind of straight away cut to the chase and begin the discussion. Let me first ask Federico to give us a macro view. Federico works for the World Bank, and therefore, let's start with this global view on this debate of manufacturing, services, employment, and also if you can talk a little bit about exports from the perspective of the work that they've been doing in India. Federico.
So I think that I would like to just highlight a very few points. We do believe that India has a lot of potential, and we are projecting an acceleration in the growth rate of manufacturing in the near term.